Hi, my name is Dalia and welcome to my vlog. Before we start, let us disclaimer. Then 12 years ago, I came to this country. I didn't have any friends, not any buddies or any people who I know. I was just working, finding my own self, what I would like to do, what I would like to study, and was exploring the country itself as much as I could financially, and also trying myself at any different kind of works. And of course, I was trying to get my English better, to develop my own vocabulary. I'm not saying I'm very, very good in English, but I believe it's not so bad because I can tell what I think, right? However, when you're coming to completely different culture, you obviously feel a little bit lonely and you would like to communicate, if not with the people of that country, but at least with some people who might be like the same things. So I was trying to find friends, or at least people who have kind of the same hobbies like me. But I didn't have much of hobbies, which one I could be kind of doing things here in this country. I was about 25, if I quite remember. Yeah, I was 25 and very soon turning 26. So I was a very young adult, legal to do some things. However, I was working, coming to the dorm where, as you remember, my first place where I live here, just communicating with people. However, some of the girls and ladies was telling me, oh, you should go to the pub. There you can find a lot of men and guys and some girls as well, and you can find friends, maybe communicate with people and also practice your English. So I start going to the pub. Yes, I find a lot of people who listen the same music. We was dancing and getting really crazy if we heard the same song, which one we kind of like from, even thought we was from different countries. However, and financially, by the health, you cannot go every day to the pub. So I little bit was like trying a little bit not to go too much. So I end up again not having any people to hang out after my work and my day off. Then I came to the London from a little village. I was living, as I said before, in a renting room in a huge house. If I could kind of remember, it was 3 men and 3 ladies. With me, it would be 4. So we're sharing the kitchen and all that stuff. And I have an idea. I would love to see the big cities nightlife, but not actually like clubs and all that dancing thing. But I wanted to see the city, how it looks like at night, the old lights, how is the calm, how the cars, kind of, I had this kind of romantic idea that the city has to look completely different vibe, if you understand what I mean. But I was a little bit afraid to go alone, lady, because from the country where I am from, it's not really safe go in the evening. And usually, if you go, it's better to go with someone, or your boyfriend, or your husband, or at least drive the car. So it's much better not walking around. However, done my own research that in this city, London, there is a lot of safety cameras. However, it was my first experience to live in a very huge city. So I wasn't sure how safe it is. The situation will happen. So I was so obsessed about that idea to explore night London. So those other men heard me saying of my obsession. So one of them said, one evening, I believe it was Friday. Yeah, next day I supposed to not to work. I used to work like Mondays to Fridays. And he said like, you don't have any plans for this evening? I was like, nope. He was like, how much of minutes you will need to get ready and go? I was like saying, go where? He was like, you're so obsessed about to see how night London looks like, all the lights and buildings. So a couple of my own friends as well would like to walk around. So maybe you want to join. Oh my God, I was so happy because finally I'm not alone and there's a man's. So I felt a little bit more safe. Those guys I knew before because they was coming to visit that man with that building where I was living. So I kind of knew who they are and all that stuff, right? So we end up meeting in the Trafalgar Square. My first experience was blowed my mind, honestly. One of the guy was on his video chat with his girlfriend from completely different country. If I remember, it was Romania. Another guy was keep texting with his family. The man who I was living in that house, he was sometimes talking to me and with another friend. So imagine one lady and four men. We was walking around. They seems knew more obviously about London, all the streets, how to get there, those little streets you can cross and this and there under the bridge. They even knew some guys was like, dressed up and I didn't know that. I was like so exciting to see them, and I didn't know that after you having a picture with them, they're gonna ask you money. I didn't know that. Thank God, those guys knew. They was like saying, no, Dalia, don't make a picture with them because they're gonna ask you money. I was like, whoa, no, I don't want to pay money for this kind of just a selfie. They are not celebrities or anything. So we end up being in a safe environment. Later I find out that it's really not so scary walk around in the night London. I believe in some areas it's still quite scary. But that day, my dream come true. It wasn't actually like a hobby itself, but it was fun. Yeah, I saw the buildings completely, the city completely from a different angle. Later on, in my previous job, I met a lady. We get along. We was from the same country, so we spoke the same language. We completely differ in the positive personalities. However, she was exploring London. She was walking around in the daytime, around the bridges. London, believe me, has a lot of bridges. So it wasn't like her hobby, but I believe you can call it explore the city as a hobby. So she was walking around there. And I was sharing my obsession as well, that I would love to walk around, to see the city, maybe museums, all that stuff. I would like to know the country, to get into it. It was so exciting for me. Big, huge world, completely different culture, completely different environment. So we end up with my new friend, walking around in the center of London. We was making so many circles. It was keep talking, sharing. She was sharing her life, I was sharing my life. So we get along and learn about each other. And now we are best friends. And actually, that was a very good chance for me to see how the London looks like at daytime. It was very fascinating. I may say, really, there's a lot of museums in London, which one are for free. You can go there, you look around and amazing paintings, sculptures, a lot of historical places. You can even see the mummies, all that stuff. Yeah, obviously there's some museum and exhibitions, which one you have to pay. However, I believe this city is so huge with so many streets, which one so fascinating that you are like in a very, for example, I will make some pictures so you will understand what I mean. So in the daytime, for example, Oxford City is so packed with cars and people. Everyone is shopping, all the tourists all walk around. But at the nighttime, this is a bit completely different environment. I mean, completely different people walking around in the street. The city looks completely different, and from that huge noise, you just turn around in another little street. You end up in a very beautiful place and very quiet. Some kind of local coffee shop or local little shop offers some jewelry or some designer shoes. It was like wow, and my my dream come true in some point to live in a huge city and have exploring experience every day, at least every time when I can. So later on, obviously you explore, but you're still lacking of something. You want hobby finally. Since little child myself, I wanted to learn how to ice skating, right? But I never had any chance, and I was a little bit scared of the ice, right? But apparently in this city, there is a school and there is a trainers who trains the adults. My God, I thought I would never ever learn how to skate. So obviously, you might get it. It was my another, and actually it was new hobby. So to have a new hobby, I was trying to find where is the place can teach me ice skating, right? But I couldn't find any arena close to my home. The only place which was not very expensive was completely from in a different area, right? And it was quite a journey to reach it. However, I was so desperate, so exciting, so I didn't care much. Later on, I even was like having my bag ready. I was going to work with that huge bag of ice skates. And well, at my work, and my chef and other people was keep asking, "Whoa, what are you doing every Monday after work?" I was like, "I have a hobby." Whoever had the hobby and you need some equipment, you understand. You want a little bit save not only money, but you want to save the time actually, right? So after the work, every Monday, I was going from one kind of area and going to another one. It took me about 1 hour. Yeah, if I remember, 1 hour, but it was 1 hour coming home. To reach the place, it took me close to 2 hours. Why? Because the job what I was doing, we were finishing about 4 o'clock. I was starting from 7 to 4, sometimes until 5. So after 5, everyone is finishing alone on the job. I'm sure in your city, big city, is the same thing. So can you imagine what's going on in the roads? Exactly. It's a traffic. It's a huge traffic. Yeah. So, oh my God, I just remember the thing. I was using bus actually. So I just remember I was having a big bag. There was all equipment for my hobby, the huge bag, and I was using one seat for my bag and another seat for myself to sit. And the bus was packed, fully packed. There was no place to sit at all. So obviously sometimes I end up having my bag huge, very heavy on my legs on the floor. Anyway, after I reached the place, I was having like 1 hour. Yeah, I remember my membership was like this. I paid for the classes and it was about 30 or 40 minutes. And after the classes, you was allowed to use the ice arena for 1 hour or 2 hours. I not quite remember, but something like that, right? So obviously I was having a lesson. We was learning how to get up if you fall, how to do the backwards, forwards, twists, all that stuff. I even had a certificate. Yeah. I reached the level 4. Well, I mean, I can stand on ice now, yeah, and I know how to get up if I will fall and how to do my balance, yeah, how to keep my balance. It's quite exciting actually, and I learned something, yeah. yeah, it's a little bit helped me to lose weight, of course. Yeah, I'm not gonna hide it. Also, it was really good mentally, yeah, because after the work, I was a little bit stressed and sometimes depressed because it's dark, winter, autumn, or raining. A lot of things are get involved, and it has impact in you, right? For your mental, for your emotions, all that health, right? So having that little hobby every Monday, it felt it made me feel very good, very happy. I was like, I even forget the thing that I'm always just working, coming home. So the Mondays was the best day ever for me. I know there's a lot of people hating Monday, right? Don't like it. Why? Because it's the beginning of the week. For me, the Monday was always happy, and because of my hobby, it was even more happy. Well, later on, of course, I moved to another place. It was much more far. It was close to the central. It was a second zone, but it was more far from the place where I was my skating, right? So I was still trying to keep my hobby, but the journey was taking me about 2 hours or something. Then it was traffic, it was even 3 hours, so I needed to change even the buses. I could take the train, I believe, if I remember quite well, but there was some little bit complicated things, like to reach the station, you're a little bit wasting your time to reach some certain station and switch to the buses. I was trying even to use the tube and then the bus. It was a little bit too complicated, so obviously I couldn't keep my hobby. However, I didn't drop it in some point because sometimes nowadays, I find out in the central a couple of ice skating arenas time to time. I'm going there and enjoying the ice skating, right? However, it means I don't have a hobby again. And you know how people say, if you want to find new friends, you need to learn something or go in some activities, maybe with the people who's having the same likings and all that stuff, right? So I found another one. I wanted so badly to study professionally the language. I was having apps, right? Learning some rules and words and vocabularies, all that stuff. However, I was like thinking, I would love to be getting some professional help maybe. And I was so on the internet was searching some schools of languages, and I found it. Obviously, I'm not gonna hide, in London it's very expensive to study any language, and it's not easy to find by your likings. However, if you're learning, if you want it and you're searching, you're gonna really gonna find. So I find it, right? The school, it wasn't at some time. Oh my God, this also was another journey to find out how to get there. So I found the place, and the first time I went there, I was so, I don't know, I was so scared a little bit, so it's not scam, is it really school and all that stuff? Maybe I'm paying for nothing, maybe I'm paying for some scam people anyway, even thought I was looking at the comments, everything seems so right, but anyway, right? So when I went there, I was really exciting and I was very happy. I expected one thing and it happened much better. Over there, in the school of language, I found another people who was even day by day when I was having a lesson of a language. On our breaks, we was talking and sharing things, what we like, what kind of movies we watch, what kind of music we're listening. And I was like, I was expecting not that much, but I learned that in this huge city is so many different people. However, maybe we're all different, but you can find really a lot of people who like same thing like you. And but but honestly, I will say, if they would be walking in the street, I would never ever guess. Honestly, never. So I'm not regretting. I'm very happy. Now I'm not going to that school. I finish it, but I still have connection with those people and very good memories. And yes, I a little bit learned off that language when I was studying. Oh, maybe one day I will share. Anyway, So, what about you? When you are coming to another city, big city, and you want to find yourself and what you like to do after the work, the hobbies and activities, all that stuff, what you do? How you search it? I mean, I know that when you are adult, yeah, it's not easy to find new friends, right? It's not easy to find a new hobby or some activities what you would like to be doing and enjoying the things what you do. I'm very curious what kind of hobby or activity you choose to have when you're adult. Where you going to find new friends? Did that hobby, which one you choose, change your perspective, the way how you see the day, or the whole week, or even your job and in your emotions? What kind of thing help you to get rid of the hate of Monday, maybe, right? So just share. So I'm gonna wait for your comments. I hope you like the video. So my name is Dalia. Leave the comments, put a like, subscribe, and see you around. Bye bye.